What is going on Facebook and what is going on YouTube? Hope everybody's doing well. And for you guys, if anybody's on the YouTube stream, I apologize because I've never used it before, so I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes down to it. So anyway, bear with me when it comes down to that. So hope you guys are having a great Friday today. It's a beautiful day outside, kind of. little bit of clouds, a little bit of cloudiness out there, but it's not bad. It's pretty nice day out there where I'm at anyway. So hope it's good where you guys are tuning in from as well. And so I'm going to talk about something a little bit different today. Okay. The title of this is Pain, Pleasure, and Weight Loss. Okay. And this is going to be part one of a two-part series. Okay. So pain, pleasure, and weight loss. That's what we're going to go over. Now, I went over a lot in the past, a lot of different reasons why people do not lose the weight and don't keep it off. And, a lot of times it's just that people really just don't know what to do. Okay. They don't know what to eat. They don't know what to do. Or maybe they deal with cravings, which could be a biological type of issue or that sort of thing. A lot of people just don't know how to do it or how to do it correctly. So all these are real issues. They're valid issues, and they're things that come up. What's up, Ralph? Tuning in from Clear Lake, Texas. Hope you're doing well, man. Right down the street. That's awesome. Cool, man. So, there's all these different reasons. There's all these really tangible type of reasons that people do not succeed just because of the fact they just don't know what to do, right? But the thing is, there are people out there. There are actually a lot of people out there that know exactly what to do, okay? But they're still not getting the results. They know exactly what they should be doing. They understand the diet. They understand how it works. They understand the science behind it. They understand all these things, but they're still not getting results, okay? They're still not taking off the weight for some reason. And so the question is, why? What is going on, Perry, tuning in from South Africa. I hope you're doing well. Awesome. Good to have you. The question becomes, if the person knows exactly what to do and, what they should be doing, why aren't they doing it? And so the answer to that is it boils down to two opposing forces, two opposing universal forces. And that would be the forces of pain and the forces of pleasure. Okay. Pain and pleasure. Okay. Let me give you an example of this. Okay. This situation comes up quite often. It comes up quite a bit. So for instance, somebody is in an intimate type of relationship. Okay. Somebody that they really love. They have a really deep relationship, deep passion for that other person. Okay. What's going on, Lena? Hope you're doing well. So anyway, there's this couple and they really love each other. They really have that passion for each other. And then all of a sudden one day, one of the persons decides to just leave all of a sudden and decides to leave the other person. And so what happens is, when that happens, they go through this really rough breakup. And, so it almost destroys that other person. It's very traumatic for that other person. And as human beings, we all want to be loved. We all want to be accepted, and those sort of things when it comes down to it. So, this person went through this really rough breakup, and it was very traumatic. It was very hard, and it was very painful. Okay, very painful for that person. And so now what happens is it's on a very deep subconscious level in this person's mind, and they might not consciously think this or consciously even understand what's going on, but on a subconscious level, they started to associate pain with relationships. They had this relationship and they love that person, and then that person just left. And so now they associate pain with that. And so what we see, and this happens time and time again, is all of a sudden that person starts gaining weight and starts eating the wrong food, starts eating a lot of cakes, a lot of sweets, a lot of just junk foods, and just starts indulging in the wrong foods. And it's all just kind of subconscious, right? And so on a conscious level, obviously they want to be around another person. They want to have another relationship, but on a deep subconscious level, subconsciously their brain's trying to protect them because they're scared of going through pain again. And so subconsciously they start doing all the wrong things, and they try to like subconsciously basically make themselves unattractive to the opposite sex is what ends up happening in those type of situations. And that is a common one. Like that is very, very common. That happens time and time again. It happens for both men and women, different age groups, you know, it happens time and time again. So that's a big one. Another one is sometimes you'll see like this couple that just barely met each other, you know, they've been in a relationship for a couple days, maybe a week, and then a couple of weeks go by. And next thing you know, these two people, all of a sudden they start gaining weight and gaining more and more weight as time goes by, as they've been together. And typically, you know, each person has both typically been in some kind of destructive type of relationship in the past. So they want to be together because everybody wants to be with somebody. I mean, that's just natural. But at the same time, their subconscious mind is a little bit scared of being in that relationship. So they just start eating. And I've seen that time and time again. And it happens very subconsciously. That's something that, you know, a lot of us don't even realize why that happens. I'm sure most of you have probably seen that before with, you know, different people that get together and all of a sudden they start gaining weight as a couple. It's very common as well. Okay. So comfort food, Ralph said, yeah. And that's part of it too. Like Ralph said, comfort food. A lot of these foods, yeah, they can find comfort in the food itself as well. So part of it's subconsciously they don't want to attract people because they're scared of being hurt again. But then part of it's, you know, just the biological addiction of having that food now, right? Because the food's pleasurable in the moment. So that's part of it as well. Absolutely. So another thing I want to talk about a little bit is just what's called social conditioning. Okay. Social conditioning. So when it comes down to social conditioning and it comes down to pain and pleasure, let's think about that for a minute and just some of the language that we use as a society, like some of the different language that we use. Just think of the word nutrition just think of that word for a moment and what pops up in your head. Is that a really pleasurable word? I know it's not for me. Like I think of the word nutrition and it's just like, I just want to like throw up, like just hearing that word. It's just crazy, you know, but that's been conditioned in our society as a word that makes us feel a certain way. So we think of that word nutrition, it just sounds, it's the least sexiest word that we could possibly think of, right? So another word would be like the word itself, the word diet, okay? The word diet, does that sound like a positive word or does that sound like a painful word? To me, that sounds like a painful word. It has the word die in it. It's diet. Like, you know, it doesn't sound like a very pleasurable word at all. So that's how we've been kind of conditioned with some of these words, you know, nutrition, diet. It just doesn't sound right. Eating healthy, just using that term, eating healthy. It almost just sounds like something that's disgusting. Like it makes you think of something that's, you know, just gross or disgusting. It makes you have those kind of thoughts, just hearing that, right? On the other side of things, when we look at the pleasure and different words that we actually get pleasure from, the words that we get pleasure would be like a word delicious, right? We think of the word delicious. What does that make you feel, right? Delicious. It's a very, very sexy word, right? It's a word that we're like, wow, that's delicious. You know, you just think of that word. Or a word sweet. Oh, wow, that was sweet, right? We even use those terms. That was sweet. Or we call our loved ones sweetie because we love them. And we're like, oh, hey, sweetie. You know, we call them sweetie or sweetie pie or sugar pie, right? Sugar pie. And we relate all these different words to love, to pleasure, to all these things, right? It's social conditioning. We think about, you know, our sweetie pies, and then we're going to have a birthday for our sweetie pie, and we're going to make them a nice cake on their birthday, you know, for the sweetie pie. So these are how we have these type of associations, and it's something that's been conditioned in us as a society. Okay, and a lot of this conditioning is a result of just major corporations, major food corporations, major pharmaceutical corporations. All these things, as time has gone by, has really influenced us in the way that we think. Okay, I remember as a kid watching, you know, I'd watch on Saturday mornings. They would have cartoons like in the morning when I was a kid. And I remember watching like the commercials that would come on. It'd be like Lucky Charms, right? It'd be a Lucky Charm commercial, and it'd have the little Irish guy, and he would be singing the little Lucky Charm song, and it would be so cool. It's like, oh wow, I want to go to Lucky Charm world, right? And he's showing, and it's all the like sugary cereal, like the worst thing that you could possibly eat as a kid, right? To not have ADD and not really just mess you up completely. But you have this positive association because he's playing this magic Lucky Charm song, you know, and it is playing in the background, and you're like, wow, this is so cool. So as a kid, you're already being conditioned on these type of things. And I remember that. And then it's like you go to the grocery store and you see the Lucky Charms, and you grab your mom by the leg and you're like, Lucky Charms, and you're like, you know, shaking her, and you know, it's just conditioned into you. And so I remember that. And you know, the advertisers, they spend billions of dollars to you know, to create those associations in our mind with what's pleasurable for us and what's painful for us. They spend a lot of money on that. Another example would be like the pharmaceutical commercials, right? They might be advertising a sleep medication, for instance, and all of a sudden you're watching this nice commercial about this sleep medication that's going to do wonders for your sleep. And there's like this butterfly, and it's flapping its wings, and it's flying, and there's like this field of like flowers, and it's the most pleasant looking heavenly experience that you'd ever see. And in the background, the voice in the background is talking about all the side effects as you're seeing this beautiful butterfly. And it's talking about stroke and heart attack and suicidal thoughts and all these things as you're watching this butterfly flapping its wings over the beautiful horizon. And you're hearing all these things, these side effects in the background. You're not even paying attention to the side effects. And so that, you know, that's how our subconscious mind's being effective. You know, it's unfortunate, and that's part of the social conditioning. And when it comes down to it, you know, so that's one thing. You know, another thing as well is, you know, as a society, when a person is sick, like somebody gets cancer, somebody gets heart disease, somebody's in the hospital, whatever happens, and people get sick, you know, typically we would go up to that person, and it's natural, and I'm not saying we shouldn't, but what happens is we go up to that person like, oh, you poor thing, what can I do for you? Can I help you? And you give them a lot of attention. You know, if they're sick, you give that person a lot of attention. You poor thing, what can I do for you? You show them a lot of caring, you show them a lot of love, and that's a natural thing, and that's what happens time and time again. But as soon as you're the person that needs 100 pounds to lose, and you just took off that 100 pounds, and you feel healthy, you feel focused, you feel awesome, you feel great, and you're healthier than you've ever been before, what do your friends tell you then? They're like, oh, easy for you, right? Easy for you. Oh, it was just genetics, right? It was just genetics, you know? So what happens in our mind when we have these type of experiences, right? Well, you know, if they're like, poor thing, you poor thing, whenever you're sick all the time, then as human beings, we all want the attention of other human beings. And we start to crave that, you know, people start to crave that. And so subconsciously, it's more pleasurable to actually be sick because they get that attention from other people. It's very unfortunate how that works. So in the other situation where you lose 100 pounds and the people are, oh, easy for you, right? Easy for you, you know, my suggestion, if your friends are telling you, oh, easy for you, it was just genetics, is they weren't your friends in the first place, and you should walk away and never look back and get a new set of friends, okay? Because you want people that empower you in your life, not people that are going to disempower you and become jealous just because of the fact that you took control of your life and you did something that was positive for your life, okay? We all just want attention as human beings, and that's just a natural thing for all of us, okay? So the thing about it, when it comes to this conditioning and when it comes to the way we think, when it comes to pain and pleasure and these different things, is it really comes down to awareness, okay? Awareness to solve this problem, so that we don't have our own subconscious beliefs that are holding us back. The first step in solving this problem is just a conscious awareness of the fact that this actually is a problem. Just aware of what our own beliefs are when it comes down to pain and pleasure, what we find painful and what we find pleasurable. Okay, just having that awareness, that's going to be the first step. Okay. I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a second part to this video, and we're going to go over more steps, and we're going to go over more things. Probably Monday, I'll come back and we're going to go over more things to actually resolve these issues as well and to deal with this stuff. But the first thing, like I said, is awareness. So yeah, guys, I appreciate it. If you guys don't mind and leave me some hearts, and I know some people already did, and I greatly appreciate it. The hearts, in the comments, and even shares and stuff like that, that really helps with the Facebook algorithm. When it comes down to it, the algorithm looks for how many hearts and how many comments and those sort of things. So if you guys can comment, heart, do those sort of things, share, I greatly appreciate that. I hope this helped you guys out. I know it's something a little bit different, but I know that a lot of people, you know, like I said, are really affected when they know what to do, but they're not doing it. It's typically, it has to do something. It's something on a very deep subconscious level. 95% of what we do is subconscious when it comes down to it. Our day-to-day actions, we're always running off of our subconscious mind. So everything that we're doing typically is subconscious. We only use our conscious mind about 5% of the time when it comes down to it. So, yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's what I got for today. And for those of you who are ready to make that change, you know, if you need to take off that weight, and you're ready to make that change, only if you're really serious. If you're not ready to do it now, don't do this. But if you're really serious and you're open-minded, you're willing to do what it takes, it's not that difficult, but I just want people that are really willing and willing to just invest in themselves and do what they take. If that is you guys, go to myketofire.com, and myketofire.com, go there, click on the little apply button, schedule a call with me, and then we'll get on that phone call and I'll work at helping you create your own customized plan, and we'll figure out exactly what is holding you back. If it's a nutritional thing, if it's something to do subconsciously, I can help you with some of that stuff as well. It just, you know, it really depends, but we can pinpoint exactly what's stopping you and make sure that you get that weight off, keep it off for the rest of your life. Okay. And become really healthy and because this stuff will transform your life. You know, once you do it and you do it right, it's really going to make a big difference in your life. And I just want to help as many people as I possibly can, but it does have to be the right people. It has to be people that are really willing to change. Okay. So that's it, guys. That's all I got. So hopefully YouTube was able to see this. I don't know. I'll find out. And yeah, so you guys have a good rest of your Friday. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And yeah, I'll be back with part 2 on this. We'll go over a little bit more about pain, pleasure, weight loss, the subconscious, how to deal with this, and how to break through any kind of limiting beliefs that are going to hold you back from getting that success with weight loss. So I'll follow up again on with you with that. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for today. I appreciate you tuning in. You guys have a great weekend, and talk to you soon. Take care.